Hi students, welcome to HP Kapriya School. I am Nisha James and I am taking Biology Practical. Today we are going to do another 12th standard Biology Practical, that is to study the adaptations in animals living in xeric and hydric conditions. So what is the meaning of adaptation? Adaptation means some of the characteristic features possessed by an organism when it is living in a particular habitat. For example, when you take fish, what is the habitat of a fish? Fish is living in water. So as it is living in water, it is possessing some of the characteristic features. For example, presence of fins, streamlined body, presence of air bladder, etc. So this will enable the fish to live successful in that aquatic habitat. So in this practical, we will learn about what are the various adaptations possessed by the organisms when it is living in a particular habitat. We are taking mainly two habitats, that is xeric habitat and also hydric habitat. Okay, so now we are starting our practical. Practical number 17, to study the adaptations in animals living in xeric and hydric condition. So we are starting our practical. Practical number 17, to study the adaptations in animals living in xeric and hydric conditions. So I told you what is adaptation. Now what is the meaning of xeric? Xeric means xerophytic. Those organisms who are living in dry and desert condition, that is called xerophytic condition. And what is the meaning of hydric? Hydric means water. So those organisms that is living in water, that is called hydric habitat and they are possessing certain adaptation, that is called hydric adaptation. As I already told you that we are dealing with two habitats, that is xerophytic habitat and also hydric habitat. In each habitat we have taken two organisms. First one is a plant and another one is an animal. For example, for the xeric habitat or for xerophytic habitat, I already told you that what is xeric? That means xerophyte. That means the organisms that is living in a dry climate with high temperature, that is called xeric habitat. I have taken two animals. First one rat, okay, and rat is an animal, and second one Opentia. Opentia is an organism. Opentia is mainly a plant. So these two, rat and Opentia, they are living in xeric condition. So to live in that particular dry habitat, they consist of certain characteristic features. Okay. Now hydric habitat, the organisms that is living in water, that is called hydric habitat. They are also contain some of the adaptation. So I have taken two organisms. First one is fish. That is an animal, and second one is hydrilla, that is an aquatic plant. They also possess certain characteristic features which will enable them to live successful in that particular aquatic habitat. Okay, now I am going to show you the specimens one by one. So students, now I am going to show you the specimens one by one. So as I already told you that we have taken two habitat. Two habitat you have to learn. First one is xeric habitat and second one is the hydric habitat. So in xeric habitat, the first organism is an animal. So this is the specimen. Okay. From the specimen you can identify this. Okay. But some of the students are having confusion. So what is this? This is the specimen of rat. Rat is an animal that is living in xeric condition. Because now what are the adaptation it possesses? Because you know that its entire body is covered by fine hairs. This will give a protection from excessive heat. And if you look at the exposed portions that is covered by scales, this will prevent dehydration. And it is normally having claws. With the help of the claws, it is making burrows in the soil. Normally, it is nocturnal. So what is the meaning of nocturnal? The organisms that is living, that is very active during night, that is called nocturnal. During daytime, they will live in the holes of the soil, and during night time, they are coming out in search of food. Okay, so these are the main adaptation as the possessed by rat. Okay, so what are the adaptation? The entire body is covered by, this is the specimen of rat. The entire body is covered by fine hairs, and then the exposed portions consist of scales, and then it consists of claws which will make holes in the, which will help to make holes in the soil. It is nocturnal, that means it is active during night time. During daytime, it is living in the burrows of the soil. Okay. Now, in xeric condition, I am taking the second organism, that is a plant. So, what is the specimen? This is the specimen of Opentia. As you know that Opentia is a plant that is living in xerophytic or xeric condition. So, what are the adaptation possessed by this Opentia? First one and the most important one, it has a very well developed root system. Because you know that in desert area there is shortage of water and there is scarcity of rain. But all the living organisms, they need water for their survival. So how they are managing this water? With the help of this highly developed root system. The root system is piercing to the underground water table. From there it is absorbing water. So this is one of the most important xeric adaptation. Second one, its plant body. Okay, you can find that the leaves are modified into fine spine. Here you can find that on the surface of the stem, you can find the spine. What is the spine? The leaves are modified into the spines. Because if there is presence of leaf, naturally there is transpiration. Transpiration hoga to there will be shortage of water. So to prevent that transpiration, the leaves are modified into spines. Other than dehydration, the spines will give protection from the attack of herbivorous animal. Due to the presence of the spine, no animals will attack the particular cactus plant. And its stem is normally flat and green. Why it is flat and green? Because it doesn't possess any leaves. As it is a plant, it is autotroph, it has to carry out photosynthesis. So how it will carry out photosynthesis? By this flat green stem. Why the stem is flat and green? Because it consists of chlorophyll. This chlorophyll is imparting green color. With the help of the chlorophyll, it is carrying out photosynthesis. So these are the various adaptations possessed by the Opentia. What are the adaptation? First one, a well-developed root system. Second one, the leaves are modified into spine. Third one, that is the stem is flat and green to carry out photosynthesis. Okay, so we have completed the xeric condition, organisms living in xeric condition. Now we are moving to aquatic habitat, that is the hydric habitat. So for that I have taken fish. So this is the specimen of fish. This is a chondrichthyes. This is the specimen of shark. So when this specimen is keeping in examination, you have to identify that this specimen is indicating the adaptation for hydric habitat. Now, what are the adaptation possessed by the fish? It has a streamlined body which will reduce friction. It consists of pelvic fin, pectoral fin and tail fin to swim in the water. It is carrying out respiration by means of this pharyngeal gill slits. Its entire body is covered by placoid scales. So these are the various adaptations. What are the adaptations? It consists of a streamlined body which will reduce the friction when it is swimming in water. Second one, the entire body is covered by minute scales, that is called placoid scales. When you observe this shark fish, we think that there is no scale, but it is there. We can't see the scales with our naked eye because it is very small and minute. This can be observed with the help of a microscope. That scales are called placoid scales. And also it consists of different types of fins. What are they? Pectoral fin, pelvic fin and also tail fin, which will help in swimming. And as it is an aquatic organism, how it will do respiration? By means of pharyngeal gill slits. Here, the pharyngeal gill slits are exposed. It is not covered by operculum. Okay, so these are the adaptations possessed by the fish, okay, or the shark. Now, the last specimen is a hydrilla plant. Now, the last specimen for hydric habitat is mainly hydrilla plant. So, this is the figure, this is the diagram, drawing of the structure of the hydrilla plant. Okay, it consists of a very thin, slender stem. This is normally present in water, mainly in flowing water, on the lower side of the flowing water, mainly in rivers, streams, you can find hydrilla plant. It is a submerged hydrophyte. What is the meaning of submerged? The plant that is living in underwater, that is called submerged hydrophyte. In the figure you can find that it consists of a very thin, slender stem. And the stem is divided into number of branches. On these branches, you can find fine, small, green leaves. You can find that these are the leaves. What about the leaves? Leaves are very small and it is mainly dark green. And with the help of this green color leaves, it is carrying out photosynthesis. We can find this hydrilla plant in that area where there is light penetration. Because I told you that this is an autotrophic plant, it has to carry out photosynthesis. For photosynthesis, light is a must. That's why I told you that we can find hydrilla up to that region in a water where there is light penetration. And it consists of aerenchyma tissue which will help them to keep buoyancy in the water. Okay, so these are the adaptations of hydrilla plant. Okay, it is a submerged hydrophyte. It consists of aerenchyma which will help to keep buoyancy. As it is an aquatic plant, it is an aquatic autotrophic plant, it needs light to carry out the photosynthesis that is done by the fine small green colored leaves. So these are the various adaptations. So in examination, this is very important question. Any one of the specimen can be asked in your examination. Either a hydric organism, either a hydric organism or a xeric organism. So you have to identify the specimen, you have to identify the habitat, and you have to write few points of its adaptation. Then only you will get full marks. Sometimes for some of the specimen you have to do diagram also. For example, just now I shown you the diagram of hydrilla. So whatever the specimen that is keeping in examination, you have to do the diagram. Okay, so this is the practical. So I think all of you understood this practical. This is very important question. Surely this question can be asked. Okay, thank you.